I feel like they're putting air in my Capri Sun.
Instead of the juice?
I feel like they're putting air in the pouches. Like chip bags.
Yeah, well, you got to make sure that, the liquid of the Capri Sun doesn't get damaged in transit. That's why they put all the nitrogen in the chip bags.
Speaking of nitrogen in the chip bags, hello everyone to The Film is Okie Dokie. My name is CJ. It's all good. I'm joined as always by the incomparable Tomato Anus.
That's me. I'm Tommy, and here we are providing a little nitrogen in the chip bag you call life.
Yeah, exactly. We are the nitrogen in your movie-going experience. That's how I'm going to describe the podcast.
CJ, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Actually, my free movie thing has been going on.
Yeah, we have officially started. So just let's recap this a little bit for everyone.
Yeah. So, I was thinking about how maybe inaccessible the podcast may outwardly appear because you don't have a subscription service. Maybe you don't have the ability to access these films. So I said, well, there's plenty of free services or ad-supported services. So I said I wasn't going to watch anything on my subscriptions for a month. I canceled actually a lot of them when I saw how many I was actually paying for. We did say there would be a penalty for every movie that I watched outside of this, which we'll get to. Because that was your responsibility. I hope you came prepared.
Well, I mean, there's still time in the month. Yes,
that's true. I've already fucked up. But
oh my gosh.
I know, I didn't make it very far. Examples are there are free movies on YouTube that are ad supported. There are free movies on Tubi. I think Freevee was a thing. I don't think it's a thing anymore. But there's a bunch of Pluto is another one where there's just free movies. And I said I wanted to watch movies on these services. I didn't want to watch content outside of that. So the only asterisk was live content. So like sports. I wasn't going to give up watching football and baseball for this challenge. And I wanted to watch, what was the number? Was it 8 or 10?
8.
I wanted to watch 8 movies that I had not seen before. I've also haven't been doing great on that part either. So, are you interested to hear how it's been going?
Yeah, I want to hear how it's going. Give me the update.
All right, so I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to start with Tubi, because I don't know anything about Tubi, okay? So I'm like, free movies, got it. We're going to watch some free movies. I watched Ella Enchanted.
Okay.
Starring Anne Hathaway. Do you know this movie?
I do know this movie.
By the way, you don't even need a login to watch these movies. You can watch this movie completely signed out. I just won't remember your progress unless you sign in. Also stars, God, I can never say his last name. Carrie Elwes? Minnie Driver, Vivica A. Fox. Like, there's some people in this. I actually really liked this movie as a kid, but I had seen it before. So didn't do great.
So hold on, can we go back a moment? You know, I'm not sure I remembered the fact that you had to watch only new things.
No. But towards the 8, I wanted to watch new stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. The 8 is exclusively new stuff.
Yeah, that was the goal.
Okay. All right, I'm following. I'm up to date.
Then I watched something that actually was something I never saw before.
Okay.
I saw Open Season Scared Silly.
Okay. Is this the second or third sequel to it?
It must be. I've never seen an open season movie.
Oh my gosh.
So I was a little lost.
Do you want to guess? I just pulled up the wiki page of the franchise. Do you want to guess what number film this is?
I'm gonna say 4.
Yes.
I saw the 4th one.
Yes.
All right. Well, maybe it makes sense that I was lost. It was also very short. It was like 90 minutes. But then I was like, you know what? Actually, I really want to watch. I completely forgot for a moment I was doing this. I was like, I want to watch Fantastic Four, so I rented it. So I paid money, extra
Wow.
money, because it's not even on like Disney yet. So I paid extra money to rent it from Amazon.
Wow.
Yeah, I screwed that all the way up.
Yeah.
So
totally forgot about the challenge.
that
What the hell?
counts towards one. That's 1 in the punishment column.
Okay. Fantastic Four, cause for okay. Okay. So in Ella Enchanted, you said you had seen this before,
Mm-hmm.
but not counting as a punishment.
No, it
Just
doesn't
not
count
counting
as a
towards
punishment.
the 8.
No, it just doesn't count towards the 8. So I've seen 1 of the 8.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So, and we're a week in, you know?
It's true. That's true. There was a lot of work to be done this weekend.
Of course.
So.
Of course.
Also, I didn't really like the spread on Tubi. I'm gonna highlight some other movies here that I might watch that I haven't seen. Flight with Denzel Washington. American Sniper. I had it bookmarked here. Skyscraper with The Rock. Those are on Tubi. Oh,
Wow.
also the Hercules movie with The Rock is on.
One of those films is not like the other, and by that I mean it's actually good.
So one of the 4 is really good.
Yes. Have you not seen any of those?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you should check out Flight.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. It's Denzel, so it's Denzel and John Goodman, Don Cheadle. It's a good one.
Okay, all right. And then there's Pluto.
Right.
So just wanted to put on your radar some of the movies that I've been thinking about watching. The Running Man.
Okay.
Yeah, never saw that. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom is on here.
Nice.
Yep.
That would be a good one.
Yeah, I think so. And Donnie Brasco.
That one I'm not too familiar with.
Well, that's all good, you know.
So are any of these you're gonna for sure watch to count towards your stuff, or just kind of circle in the drain right now?
Throwing some stuff out there, you know?
Gotcha. Okay. So you've completed 1 and you have 1 punishment locked.
Yes.
So, I do have to confer with Jade. I would love her input on figuring out what
movie.
Yeah, I do have some contenders in my mind, but I don't want to waste this, this.
Yeah.
It's a free choice film for you to have to watch. I want to make sure I'm picking something that's going to be worthwhile and not something that I think would be fun for you to watch only for ultimately to be like, it was not worthy of much discussion.
Mm-hmm. I understand.
Well, thank you for the update. We'll have to check back in on that in the ensuing episodes.
Yeah. So there are going to be episodes where the challenge is still going on, but it will no longer be. It'll be no longer till October for the audience.
You've watched 3 movies in this challenge. 2 of them, I'd say, in the challenge. One being the Fantastic Four, which doesn't count. Between Ella Enchanted and Open Season Scared Silly, did you, was there anything you were able to glean from them? Like, this has some positive qualities. I particularly like this actor or something like that.
Well, I think Anne Hathaway just had it, Like, it just feels like she always was going to be pretty good. Honestly, I remember liking it a lot as a kid, but you know how like there's like that like dumb shit when you're like a teenager and or like a 10-year-old and you're like, oh, this is a movie about a princess. I'm not supposed to like this. Kind of like that.
Gotcha.
So no, I just got to go back and be like, oh yes, I like this. This was fun.
Good.
This was not a
Good.
waste of an afternoon.
Good. That's good. You know, I ask because I'm glad you mentioned Anne Hathaway, you know, very talented actress. But CJ, have you heard of the new actress taking Hollywood by storm?
Is it the jeans lady?
No, not Sydney Sweeney.
Is it Emily Blunt?
No, not Emily Blunt from Smashing Machine fame.
Is it what's that lady? I don't know. What?
Have you heard of a little known actress called Tilly Norwood?
Oh, the AI lady.
The AI, yes. I wanted to bring this up and have us talk about this a little bit.
Okay.
So for those of you who have not heard of Tilly Norwood, this is like the first big instance of AI actor being pushed. And I'm going to be real, I'm not sure if she's actually been used in anything. Like I don't want to say acted because she's not real, right? Like they have an Instagram account for her that posts constantly, and but like apparently there's like a lot of hubbub in Hollywood about like people wanting to represent her, but also like the Screen Actors Guild being of course not endorsing this at all. And like I think that there are like sizzle reels with her in them, but I particularly wanted to bring up an article written about Tilly Norwood and maybe just have a bit of a discussion about this idea of AI actors. This article is from the FP.com, the Free Press, titled "My Favorite Actress is Not Human," written by Tyler Cowan. And I just wanted to read you a couple lines from this, CJ, to get your reaction.
Mm-hmm.
So the subtitle on this, I think subtitle is the word, I don't know. Tilly Norwood doesn't need a hairstylist, has no regrettable posts, and if you wish to see a virgin on screen, this is one of your better chances. That's because she's AI. First off, what the fuck?
Yeah. I've never been like, oh, I bet she's a virgin. Like, that's gross. That's all kinds of yucky.
The link to this article if you wanted to pull it up and look at it a little bit. The way this article starts, Tilly Norwood is the actress I most want to see on the big screen, or perhaps the little screen if she gets her own TV show. She is beautiful, but not too intimidating. She has a natural smile and is just the right amount of British, a touch exotic, but still familiar with her posh accent. Her Instagram has immaculate standards of presentation. Who considers British a touch exotic?
Apparently
What?
Tyler Cowan.
I feel like that is an immediate tell for the type of person. And then also the comment about wanting to see a virgin on screen.
Yeah, that's some old time creepy. So I just tried a picture of this guy, by the way.
Yeah.
He looks exactly like someone that'd be like checking her hymen.
Yep. I could not have put that better myself.
He's like, you broke it in yet?
Oh God, that's gross.
He is
That's so
gross.
disgusting.
This whole article's gross. Like,
yeah.
wait, I thought this was gonna touch on like the normal like AI stuff. This is like getting into weird shit.
Yeah. So this Tilly creation, I don't even want to use the word person because like you look at pictures and it looks like a person, but that person does not exist.
It's like a character, like Buzz or Woody, you know?
Yeah, that's it. But entirely AI. This person is a cartoon. This is not a person. This Tilly was created by someone named Eileen Vandervelden working through an AI company. And I guess do you CJ have any fear of in big Hollywood productions, there being this, someone like Tilly or other AI actors filling in full roles. Is this something that, I guess, how do you feel? Of course, like, we fucking hate the idea of it, but how do you feel in terms of, like, is this a likelihood? Is this something that we might have to put up with at least for a little while, if not like just it becoming a new norm, like this stuff trying to get forced into things?
I will tell you this right now. Any movie which replaces actual actors with AI generated fake people, I will not go see.
I am 100% with you.
Like, I use this analogy because AI is adjacent to my job, right? And I talk about how and I don't know if I've used this analogy on the show, and if I have, tell me and we can cut this, but from the time of the pyramids to the time of the telegraph, the fastest internet was a guy on a horse, right? Like, the way things are structured in our country and a lot of countries is based on the speed in which data can be transmitted. But based on how fast it could be historically transmitted. Like, why do we have an electoral college? Because it relied on your rep going back and forth to Washington.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you're in Arizona, that might be a week-long trip on the train. Right? Also, they just might die of dysentery, I guess. Anyway, so then something remarkable happened at some point. The horse was retired. We retired the horse. The horse, you could be going down a road, and the horse would be pulling you and your family in the carriage. Now, you buy a $100,000 truck and trailer to pull a $100,000 horse down the highway. We have retired the horse, right? We went from the horse pulling us to now we pull the horse. And I say that to say, with the advent of AI, the jobs that people would have wanted AI to take over, to those roles to fill in our lives, are the jobs that humans don't want to do. Dig ditches, shovel shit,
fold my laundry.
AI can't clean out your septic tank.
It
right?
fucking should. That's what it should be for.
But we've made AI that can't do those things, which we would like it to do. But what can it do? It can make art. It can make songs. It can pretend to act. And it can make quote-unquote paintings and art and drawings. Except it can't do those things. It takes what humans make, and it makes a bastardization of it. It has no original ideas. It has no original thought. So instead of retiring humans and having AI pull us down the highway, we've created a situation where now we pull the AI down the highway because we're outsourcing the aspects of our lives that we find pleasure and joy in that we didn't want to outsource to AI. That's the industries that are trying to use AI the most. Tilly Norwood, let me say this in no uncertain terms. Tilly Norwood is not an actress. Tilly Norwood has no experiences. Tilly Norwood has no memories.
Tilly Norwood has no feelings. So for that, I can legally say, fuck her.
But I'm saying,
what's she gonna do? Feel cyberbullied? No. She's a robot.
It can't a robot. It can't divine in a performance aspects from its own life and experiences. And that's what acting is.
Yeah.
Good actors are like, I'm going to use this. I'm going to like, oh, this character needs to be really upset. Well, I can get really upset. I can share that visually, right? Or I can have a moment. Also, I'm curious. She's not Tilly Norwood has not been in anything. So why is she being called an actress? As far as I'm aware, Tilly Norwood just walks around with a coffee cup, right? Like Tilly Norwood hasn't been in anything.
No.
Also, how would Tilly Norwood be in a scene with anything other than an AI actor?
Exactly. Though I do want to bring up, Tilly Norwood does have a post on Instagram of her crossing a road, and the caption is, "This street always reminds me of that one breakup walk where I tried to act chill, ... then cried in front of a Pret. Crosswalk chic X. What's your most embarrassing street moment? Bonus points if it involved food or an X." And this post has 0 comments on it.
I feel like, is somebody writing this for the character? Surely.
I think it's like all AI.
Oh, that makes it worse, because then it's super unintelligible.
Yeah, I don't know. The line is hard to tell how involved this Eileen creator is in the online image. But yeah, it's just what you said about this whole concept of AI, rather than freeing us from our shackles of work to enjoy life, it is doing all the things that we are supposed to be doing to enjoy life, and just so we have more time to work. It's literally the inverse.
Yeah, it's like, oh, cool. I read an article today that if AI hits critical mass, it will use more water in the Midwest than there is water. It would use all freshwater resources in the Illinois Midwest area. And it would cause a drought because it requires those resources to continue. What is the value in that? So, for example, there was a guy who was posted everywhere yesterday. I feel like I couldn't go anywhere without seeing him. The guy who turned plastic 2-liter bottles into a fuel he called plastiline, which is like gasoline made of plastic. And it powered a regular muscle car, and it ran 100% like normal. But it costs more energy to convert the plastic into the fuel source than you get out of it, so it doesn't make sense to recycle it that way. And to bring it back to AI, if it takes all the fresh water in an area to power AI actors, why wouldn't you just use people actors?
Because that's not what the investors are paying for, CJ.
I want to meet the investors because I want to kick them in the balls.
Yeah, but then they're going to be like, well, what if we told you could make millions of dollars by scamming the general populace? You
sounded like a Muppet at the end of it.
Wow. Just making fun of the way I talk. Okay.
Yeah.
So do you feel as though this is going to be, back to the original question, how threatened is your potential future viewing experience? Or I guess, do you feel as though this is going to be an actual concern in Hollywood?
It will be a concern. This already came up in the last round of strikes and negotiations because they were having people sign agreements as extras. And get basically like, hey, you give us your permission to use your likeness in perpetuity as a background extra for AI generation.
Yeah. And a lot of times people didn't know that. They were just shuffled off to go get scanned, not realizing that's what was happening.
So, like, this isn't going away because there are a lot of people whose livelihood relies on it, and those people have a lot more resources than you or I. But I'll also say that, you know what it's going to take? It takes somebody spending a ton of money and it not working before it goes away. Like, remember the metaverse? I didn't ever realize the metaverse came out. I never realized that was a thing. I thought it was coming soon. I never realized it released. But just as quickly as it came, it went. Augmented reality. I remember everyone saying, oh, motion controls, augmented reality. That's going to be how you do your interaction. No, consumers don't want it. Or a movie that has some kind of hook or a gimmick. 3D movies are all but gone. Remember when every movie was in 3D and you're like, why the fuck does Lincoln need to be in 3D?
Yeah.
You're like, I'm going to pay $4 extra to watch Lincoln in 3D?
Yeah, man. I freaking the moment that he fucking chops that vampire in half, you know I want to see them
wrong movie.
Huh? No, there was only the one Abe Lincoln movie ever made, right?
No. There was Abe Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
They made a second Abe Lincoln movie.
Yeah,
Well, why would they do that? They had one perfectly fine documentary
because they wanted to make that 3D glass money.
Now I gotta freaking watch both of them back to back to get the full story.
The only movie, like, there are a few movies that benefit from 3D, like the original Avatar was an experience. Everybody that I knew left that theater with those bulky ass 3D glasses with a migraine after 3 hours of it, but like, it was a viewing experience. So what is it going to take? It's going to take somebody making a movie, the $1 billion movie, that they think is going to be like the end game return on investment, right? With Tilly Norwood and Chad Thundercock in the lead roles.
Hold up. Chad Thundercock's going to be in this? I'm seated.
I will never see it. But that's what it's going to take, and then nobody to go see it. People vote with their wallets. So I don't think I'm terribly worried. I think that this will be a correction. I don't think people want this. I think that the audience will reply in kind.
Yeah, I hope so. I certainly hope so. I hope that people don't get duped by it, you know?
Yeah. I can definitely see, like, my grandparents not understanding, or somebody like my grandparents not understanding the concept of Tilly Norwood not existing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which, man, Tilly Norwood not existing, talk about an ideal world.
Speaking of an ideal world, we're watching a movie today.
As people do in the ideal world, is watching a movie on a random Tuesday.
I mean, I think so.
I was agreeing with you.
Yeah. So, we're watching the Banshees of Inisherin.
Yes.
Tommy, what, if anything, do you know about this movie?
I really don't know a lot. So I am a fan of Colin Farrell. I am a fan of Brendan Gleeson, right? That's his name?
Yep.
Everything I've seen them in, I've been a big fan. I think they're terrific together, or not together. What I was going to say is I've not seen something with them in it together, at least not that I'm aware of. I know that they star together in Bruges, which I've also not seen.
In
Bruges. I've not seen In Bruges. I always assumed that this was a similar creative team since it's them back in a starring role. I'm not sure if it's the same director and whatnot. But really, I don't know anything about In Bruges or Banshees of Inisherin. Other than I think I know the way In Bruges ends at the very end, but that's about it. So it has no consequence on this film. So really nothing. I don't really know the tone. I know In Bruges is, I guess, drama comedy. I know that there's comedy in there, but it's not the focus.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, really, really going in blind.
Okay. So I would say that in Banshees is more, so both of them do star Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson. I would say that this is more of a black comedy. It's officially listed as a tragicomedy.
Okay.
Whatever. We're just being silly now. But it is, yeah, I think that you basically know everything you need to know. You know, In Bruges, I think, was very unintentionally funny. There were a lot of scenes in that movie that played really, really well, and I think intentionally funny, but I think that it did really well. This is also the same director that did In Bruges, Martin
And who is
McDonagh.
that? Oh, okay. I know him.
You do?
Yeah, I've not I've not seen any of his films, but I know who he is, and I know some of his films.
Yeah, he also did Seven Psychopaths, which also had Colin Farrell. He also did
The one I know him from is Three Billboards.
Three
Three
Billboards.
Billboards, yeah.
Yeah, outside Ebbing, Missouri. Yep. So so his filmography is basically those 4 movies. He has another movie coming up soon, starring Sam Rockwell and John Malkovich, which I'm excited about.
I'll be seated for that. I freaking love Sam Rockwell.
I do like Sam Rockwell. Did you ever see Vice?
No, I did not.
Oh my god, he was so good as a W in that.
Yeah, I've seen clips, and he absolutely nails it in the
Christian
moments
Bale,
that I've seen.
unrecognizable in that movie.
Oh, of course. Isn't that the role that made him decide to stop gaining and losing weight for roles?
I don't know. I hope it was.
As opposed to like a different role being the decide. Like what? I guess what consequence does it have on you? Him saying after Vice, I think I'm going to be done, as opposed to like
it just
say
can't be
another
good.
movie.
It just can't be good for his health, and I
Well,
want
of
him
course,
to,
but why? What about Vice makes you hope that that was the movie that he said he was going to stop doing?
He had to gain a lot
after?
of weight to play Dick Cheney.
Right, but you didn't think the same thing after The Machinist when he lost like 1 billion pounds?
Yeah, but at that point, that was like the first time he had done it.
Hmm.
Like he had bulked up for Batman Begins and then lost the weight to The Machinist and then bulked up to play The Dark Knight. Like that was the start of his reputation for the rubber banding. Right?
I mean, he also did do.
Also,
what's
it's
it
different
called?
when you're younger. Like when you're younger, your body can recover. He's slightly older now, and I want him around longer.
Right. So I guess what is it about Vice that you want that to be the movie for him to stop gaining and losing weight for?
Because he went from being normal size to being Dick fucking Cheney.
Right.
Dick Cheney looked like the walrus from Alice in Wonderland.
Okay.
I don't know why you're like straw manning me on the Vice comment.
No,
I
that's
don't
what you
know.
said.
I don't know why we're doing this. Is it because there wasn't enough conflict yet today? Like,
no. I mean, if we want conflict, I'll throw down.
No. Okay. So, I don't want to do a big preamble for this episode. I think if you go in as blind as possible, that's ideal. It did get a ton of nominations at the Oscars.
Right. I remember that.
Yeah. And for the most part, it's sort of it also has, what's that guy's name? I can't remember if that guy's the piece of shit or the Flash is the piece of shit. Barry
Keoghan?
Yeah.
Ezra Miller is the other person who you're talking about. They are kind of off the deep end in legal issues. Barry Keoghan, as far as I'm aware, doesn't have legal issues, though, in the age that we're in with constant social media and whatnot, people have plenty reasons to dislike Barry Keoghan.
Okay.
But I don't think, unless I'm totally forgetting stuff, I don't know if he's done anything overtly problematic.
Okay. All right. Well, why don't you take your headset off and I will give the audience my prediction on how you'll like this movie.
Headsets off!
Okay. Hello, everybody. Well, first of all, I don't think I've done one of these in a long time or ever. Have I done one where I've made a prediction about Tommy? I don't know. Yes, I have. The Quiet Man, like literally not that long ago. I'm sorry. Any Hoosers. So, the Banshees of Inisherin, I think he's gonna like it. But I'm expecting it to not be like a film that makes anybody feel good. So I'm expecting a little bit after discussion. It's a thumbs up. It's okie dokie. That's my prediction. will be, in the end, it'll be with a little bit of coaxing, a little bit of conversation. It's an okie doke.
I have returned.
Whoop whoop. All right. Well, I gave my prediction.
Sweet.
I
can't wait to hear it at some point.
Yeah, I know. Some point. Do you have anything else, or can we just get this show on the road?
Let's get this show on the road.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to the pre-show. If you would like to listen to the companion audio podcast for the Banshees of Inisherin, we're going to give you a Iggy here in a second to pause. The link for that will be in the description below. So click on that and you'll be able to find it. If you don't want to listen to the companion audio podcast, you don't have to do anything. Just keep on chilling and the podcast will keep on going. If you'd like to listen along or watch along with us, you can stop the podcast right now.
God, Ireland is just so green.
You're saying they're inexperienced?
Yeah. Yeah, the whole country, really.
Daddy'll kill us if we wake him, and it's been wanking.
Is this our first exposed cock and balls on the film is Okie Dokie?
I feel like it had to have come up sooner than this.
I mean, we've had exposed Will Smith balls.
Wasn't there exposure in Coming to America?
Cock and balls, though?
In the bath scene. I guess that was tits and bush. Hello, everyone! We're back from watching the movie, and it's a week in the future
back.
for us, but it's not a
Yes'm.
week in the future for you.
Knows 'em.
Knows 'em.
CJ, how you been doing?
Good. Doing pretty good. You know, we watched the movie. I've been watching more of free stuff.
Nice.
Yep.
I'm excited to. Yeah, let's do a quick check-in. What have you been watching?
Oh, I gotta pull up my list. Hang on. What did I say? I was gonna switch to Tubi.
Yeah. So
Last
just to
time.
recap from the pre-show, which not long ago for our listeners, but a week for us, you had watched Ella Enchanted, Open Season Scared Silly, and Fantastic Four, which Fantastic Four did not count towards the challenge. So you were at 2 out of 8, I believe.
I don't think Ella Enchanted counted either because I had already seen it.
Okay.
All right, but I made up some ground.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right, I saw Flight.
Nice.
Denzel
What did
Washington.
you think?
Honestly, a perfectly inoffensive movie to be watched on a plane or on TV.
But will not be shown on a plane. Let's be real.
It will never be shown on a plane, but it's that kind of energy. Like, I never saw the trailer, but if you told me the trailer for this movie used a Rolling Stone song, that's the kind of energy it has. And it just, it's like, this is the kind of movie that put another wing on Denzel's house, and I'm okay with that.
I really like that movie. John Goodman's fantastic in it.
Cocoa Puff, he was pretty funny. Yeah, so that was good. I liked that.
Okay. What else we got?
That's funny. You only found 2 bottles because I drank 3. I had seen Olympus Has Fallen. I was excited to see London Has Fallen.
Oh.
And I
is
gotta
that
tell
bridge still
you-
standing?
Well, I don't remember. I believe in this movie, yeah, Morgan Freeman is in it, and Angela Bassett, and Aaron. It's basically the same cast as the first one. I saw Olympus Has Fallen, and then I saw White House Down.
I was just about to bring that up.
And I remember them coming out like 6 months apart.
Yes.
I saw both in theaters.
Famous case similar to Deep Impact and Armageddon, where 2 similar films come out at the same time.
Isn't there like another one about 2 movies about a volcano blowing up?
Probably. There's a good handful of instances like that. Well, why don't you keep talking about the Fallen films and whatnot? And I'll see if I can try and find a list that, talks about these.
So if you don't know Olympus Has Fallen, it's like Gerard Butler right? Disgraced former Secret Service agent. And then he's like there for some other reason when terrorists take over the White House. And then someone yells into a walkie-talkie, "Olympus has fallen!" And it's like, oh, he's the only one that can save the president. And then London is like, cool. Well, now the president is in London, and there's terrorists attacking London at a gathering of the leaders of the world. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. If I'm yawning, because it's not because it's boring. It's only because it's a little boring. It was okay. Another great movie for popcorn consumption. No one's ever gonna like, Again, I think Gerard Butler I hope Gerard Butler paid for some of his kids to go to college. I don't know if Gerard Butler has children, but I hope he does. Otherwise, I have a few questions. Like, I think Michael Caine did like Jaws 3 or something, and he said it was because it bought his house in LA. And I'm okay with that. Right? Like I don't need, everything to be perfect. I would just like some things to be okay. And if you're willing every now and then to give me an okay or good, or better yet, you give me a great, you and I are going to be okay. So, London Has Fallen. All right. Wasn't my favorite.
While you were going through that, I did find there is a wiki page. They're referred to as twin films. I thought there would be, just a couple of these to run through. There has to be like over 50 listed here. There are a lot of instances of this. So just to name a couple from the last few decades, Elvis and Priscilla came out within a year of each other. The Pope's Exorcist and The Exorcism are both Russell Crowe films where he plays a form of exorcist. Back in like 2011 or so, there was the what was it called? I just saw it. No Strings Attached and Friends with Benefits came out at the same time.
Oh, I remember those, yeah.
Yeah, one was like Mila Kunis, and the other was shoot. I don't
Jessica
remember.
Biel?
Sounds about right. There was Ants and Bugs Life. There was
Ants, yeah.
There's Spectre and the James Bond film Spectre and Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. I know that those have a bunch of similarities, so there's a ton of these. We don't have to get too bogged down in them. But yeah, the Olympus Has Fallen and White House Down. I remember them coming out at the same time, and to this day, I cannot tell you which one is the one with Jamie Foxx.
White House Down's the one with Jamie Foxx.
Okay. That information is going to leave my brain in probably 3 minutes.
That's totally fine. I know that information. So he has the scene. It's him and Channing Tatum, right? And he's like, kicks the terrorist, and he's like, "Get your hands off my Jordans."
See, I don't remember that. Is Jamie Foxx the president in that one?
Yes, he is.
Gotcha. Sweet. So London Has Fallen.
Yep.
And
then
I
saw
one
one
more. Okay.
To get me up to 5.
Wait, wouldn't this be 4?
Oh, 4. Yes, 4. All right. The Replacements. With Keanu Reeves and Gene Hackman.
Okay.
It's a football movie.
Mm-hmm.
And because the regulars go on strike and these fools get a chance to be in the NFL again. And yeah, it was I kind of felt like a scab watching it. I was like, I could be watching college
because
football.
It's about the scabs?
Yeah, something
for the
like
NFL?
That. Yeah.
Wow, so you're complicit, that 1987 NFL strike wouldn't have happened had you not watched and supported.
I know. So
it's pretty messed up, not gonna lie. So you're at 4. How you feeling? We're recording this on October 14th, halfway through the month. You're halfway through the challenge.
I feel like okay. You know where I'm at right now? Like I was getting served a lot of clips for like The Godfather and The Godfather Part 2. And I've been wanting to watch The Godfather, but I can't per the challenge, right? Lest I have to watch one of your punishment films.
Right.
So
which
I'm
you
like,
already are. We are already
I'm
owed
in the can
one.
to you for one.
Right.
So having said that, like, there's a part of me that's like, yeah, like, I don't know. I'll save my full thoughts for the end, but these films that are available, at first glance, you're like, there's some pretty good stuff here. And then you look and you're like, it's like going to a restaurant and you don't want anything that's on the menu. And I'll kind of leave it at that thought.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Man. So I guess, how do you feel? Do you feel like this was a mistake? Do you feel...
No, not a mistake, because I think that it's important to demonstrate that, like, you know, you can, like, be entertained with free, like, these things are out there. There's free movies that you can watch. In the time span of us being, like, kids and teenagers, and there's a little bit of an age gap between us, which might affect this a little bit, but not much. Like, I had Netflix when I was a senior in high school, right? Like, streaming came to me really late. And I didn't get Netflix early, right? Maybe I got it a little later, but, like, when did streaming enter your life?
You know, streaming itself, certainly at the latest freshman year of college. But, you know, my family and myself, we were pretty late to join watching streaming, but I do have memories of, like, junior, senior year in high school, watching movies that someone had rented from Netflix, like back when their primary thing was they sent you the DVDs.
Yeah, for sure.
So, you know,
we had the 2 DVD plan.
Whoa,
yeah,
freaking
we're big
bougie.
Pimpin'. I know.
Yeah, my gosh.
I know, big pimping over here. I actually still have a Netflix DVD.
Whoa. Well, no wonder they're freaking losing money.
You know what's so funny? I had it for like 10 years, and they were just like, okay, you just can't take another DVD out. And then they phased out the DVD plan, and I called them because there was a number, like, and I said, hey, I just don't have it anymore. And they're like, okay, you're fine. Don't worry about it. So I still have that DVD.
Wow. So could I do this? Do you think I could get away with something by doing that?
I don't know. Do they have that? Is that still part of the company?
I don't think so.
Or maybe it's like a separate company entirely. I don't know.
Should we go on an adventure to find out, or should we just let that sleeping dog lie?
Hey, for next time, we'll come prepared.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Because I actually have a little bit of a rant. I feel like I haven't ranted lately.
Okay, let's hear this rant.
So, I said that one of the loopholes to the challenge was that I would not, like, I'm going to put something on to go to sleep or something, right? Like, that's allowed. I made that carve out.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what? I believe I bought SpongeBob, like the first couple seasons of SpongeBob somewhere. And I was like, I'd like to, like, just put the first couple seasons of SpongeBob on and just go to sleep. And sometimes I need background noise and sometimes I don't. And I bought it on YouTube. So I'm like, this will be easy, right? So I go to click on it and it says my purchase is not available. So I'm like, that's weird. So I see it as in my purchases. So I'm like, why is it not available? So I go and I look and I find the receipt. And it's in my email that I purchased these videos. I bought the first few seasons. Well, apparently, there is now the license for the content on YouTube expired. So now I have lost my access to the content.
That's so fucked up.
I was fucking pissed. Because I'm like...
You just bought it.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck? I just was like, okay. I was like, all right, whatever. So I looked into it, and I was thinking, like, is there something that I've bought TV wise or movie wise digitally that I no longer have access to? And then I said, well, on the Xbox 360, I bought a bunch of movies and TV shows back in the day before we had Netflix or stuff like that. Because I would buy them with like Microsoft points.
Right. Man, that's so funny. I was just talking about Microsoft points today on stream for the first time in forever. I was saying like, man, if I were like a 12, if we had Chat GPT when I was a 12-year-old, I would be like, Chat GPT, can you generate codes for me to use for the Microsoft points?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, I probably don't have access to any of that. So I looked into it. And I found out that you could still access those videos that if you purchase them on the 360.
No way.
And I was like, well, the marketplace is shut down. How do I access them? So I don't know if you remember this, but Microsoft Movies and TV, right?
Yeah.
They recently stopped selling movies and TV on Windows. They don't do that anymore. They shut it down like a couple months ago. But you can restore your old purchases and by linking your Microsoft account. So, I linked my Xbox 360 account and restored my purchases. And I now have access to all of the things I bought on the Xbox 360 when I was in high school.
Whoa. Do you have a full list?
I do. I'm gonna run through it.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
I have the first 8 seasons of Family Guy.
Okay.
I have the first 3 seasons of Pawn Stars.
Oh my God. Classic.
So, like, for those that don't know, each episode was like 160 Microsoft points, right? So, if I bought a season's worth of episodes, like 20 episodes, $1.60 was 160 Microsoft points was $2 basically. So each episode cost $2 back then. The Simpsons, I have 2 episodes of The Simpsons. I have the first season of America, the Story of Us.
What?
It's a
What is
History
that?
Channel show.
Okay.
Do you remember Mansers?
Oh my God. I didn't until you just said it.
I have a season of Mansers.
Why?
Because I was how old would I have been? I don't know. I was in the 10th grade, so I was 16, 15, and I thought that show was really funny. So for those of you out there that don't know, it was a show on Spike TV that it was like, oh, these are the questions that real men want to know the answers to. So, by the way, the list of Mansers episodes Wikipedia page is now deprecated. It just redirects to the Mansers page. I guess, I guess they didn't see the value. But it would be like, men want to know, how long can you preserve your farts in a jar?
Yeah. Stuff like that. Or like,
Or
can you fart so hard your balls die?
Yeah, or like, can your beer gut stop a bullet? Or can boobs crush a beer can? And that's exactly how all of it was. So I have just one episode here. None of them have titles. So, but they're all in standard def, by the way. Yeah. So, all right. How do I go back? Purchased. Okay. So, I have Deadliest Warrior.
Oh man, I remember that.
I have 2 seasons of Deadliest Warrior. Sorry, I have 6 episodes. I have Yakuza versus the Mafia, the
I wonder who
Green
won that
Beret
one.
versus the Spetsnaz,
I remember that episode.
the IRA versus the Taliban,
Okay.
Attila the Hun versus Alexander the Great, and Jesse James versus Al Capone.
Man, it's interesting hearing young CJ's episodes of interest.
Oh yeah. I don't know what was going on. Don't worry. We're going to take a hard turn here in a minute. Next up we have Angry Beavers.
Oh, classic.
Yeah, classic Nickelodeon show. I have a season of Angry Beavers. We have the Paley Center for Media. I have an episode which features the panel from Family Guy, an episode that features the panel from Scrubs.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Real quick. This is a lot of episodes of TV.
I did spend a lot of money.
Yeah. So did you watch all of these?
Yeah. So before we had Netflix, I used to fall asleep to Family Guy like every night. I have Family Guy, Stewie Griffin, The Untold Story.
Is this separate from the Family Guy shit before?
Yes.
Okay.
I have 2 episodes of the Mythbusters reboot show.
Why?
I don't know.
The Mythbusters reboot? I thought that was well after the era we're talking about.
Let's see.
I thought Mythbusters rebooted like within the last I thought Mythbusters was still going strong at that point.
I think no.
The original run of Mythbusters was from 2003 to 2016.
So I must have bought these. Well, consider that I did have my 360 for a while.
Right.
Yeah, it has the other 2 guys in it.
The other 2 guys, John and Brian.
I think so.
So those aired in 2017 to 18.
Yeah, I have 2 episodes of that.
Whoa.
I have the Christmas special episode of South Park.
Okay.
I have. Now, these were free at the time. So these are actually in my catalog, but they were free episodes I was able to download. I have an episode these are all various Looney Tune cartoons. I have 3 Looney Tune cartoons. I have an episode of the Jetsons. I have an episode of Tiny Toon Adventures. I have 1 episode of Futurama. I have a season of a show called Surviving Disaster. This is the description of the show. Surviving disaster is unlike any other series on television, as it may actually save a life. What's the best way to survive an earthquake, home invasion, plane hijacking, bioterrorism, hurricane, or even a nuclear attack?
Oh, jeez.
And so it was like, this is what
Well,
you should
how?
do. I don't know. The only one I apparently watched was the hurricane. I have the first season of Nitro Circus.
Nice.
I have season 7 I have season 1 of Rob Dyrdek's Fantasy Factory. And I have an episode from the first season of Saturday Night Live.
Wow.
Yeah, and that is everything that I bought.
Who was the guest host? Who was the host of that episode of Saturday Night Live?
Let's see. Ron Nessen.
All right. I see why you bought that episode.
Yeah, right? Oh, the Patti Smith group performed, so that's really... I don't even know why I bought that. But there you go. So, a diverse tastes for sure.
There are certainly some choices or purchases there that in 2025 make me raise an eyebrow.
Really? Are you saying I'm
Yeah,
problematic?
No, not problematic. Just like, why would you buy that at
Listen,
any age?
This is what I don't know. I thought it was interesting. I used to love the History Channel. I used to like wake up to Modern Marvels and stuff. And then like it took me a while to realize that like the content that they were producing was like all reality slop.
Yeah.
But like I was kind of okay with it because at the time I really liked Pawn Stars. And the first few seasons of Pawn Stars, the gimmick hadn't been like worn out yet, you know?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it's like, cool, this is like totally fine. And then it's like you get to season 30 of Pawn Stars and you're like, all right, yeah, I don't need 100 seasons of this, and everyone's
It's all the
kind of
same bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go.
Wow.
But yeah, so I have access to stuff I bought when I was 16. I don't have access to stuff I bought a few months ago.
That's just so whack. Is this so? You had just said to me yesterday or 2 days ago you were getting back into collecting physical media. Was this a catalyst for that?
That was the major catalyst for that. I was like, you fucking assholes can't take it from me if I have it in my cold dead hands.
Yeah, I was about to say pry it from my cold dead hands.
Yeah, and I will say that I'm running into a different problem with physical media.
What's that?
Which wasn't really a problem the first time that I left. It was, but it was pretty easily avoidable. You now have to be very diligent about counterfeits and knockoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some fakes out there that are, I would say, fairly high quality.
Mm-hmm.
And personally, I just am not going to support bootleg DVDs. So like, for example, I was looking at purchasing Seinfeld, right? And on eBay, you can buy the complete collection of Seinfeld sealed in the package for $30, right? They're all knockoffs.
Really? On
Yeah.
eBay, you said?
On eBay. And then it's like, try buying one from like a legitimate retailer. It's $75.
Whoa. Oh, this is so interesting. I'm looking at this now. Yeah, $25 plus $6 delivery.
So I've been joining forums, like Blu-ray forums and DVD forums, which sounds so ridiculous, but I've been joining them because I'm trying to determine what are the legitimate physical releases. So like, for example, I was looking at buying Dragon Ball, and I found somebody selling what looked to be a complete collection of the Dragon Ball DVDs, but they are bootlegs. And the way you can tell is by the way that they compress the boxes, because they couldn't buy the bigger boxes that the original collections were sold in. So they bought regular DVD boxes and compressed the art to fit. And I'm like, God damn it. And so if you look, you can find the complete Dragon Ball series on eBay, but they're counterfeits. They're fakes. And I see people online being like, oh, this company that made this thing I like, fuck them. I'm not going to support them because they did this thing I didn't like. It's like, I'm just not going to do that. If I'm going to buy the DVD, I'm going to buy the original release. So it did stunt my plans a little bit once I realized how prolific the bootleg / quote unquote wholesale / counterfeit market was. Which was a surprise to me.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
No, but in hindsight, makes sense, especially with, think about video games, right? The aftermarket on like N64 games and PS1 games, like it's all repros. It's hard. You gotta be diligent, do your research to make sure you're buying an authentic copy.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. But yeah, I guess I never had considered that would extend to home media.
It's interesting. I had not considered it. It makes sense. I am very diligent when it comes to video game purchasing, to the point where I've been doing it for so long, I am able to spot the fakes, right? And like, for example, Game Boy Advance games. We're getting a little bit far off, but I think this is an interesting tangent. Do you know the way to spot a fake Game Boy Advance game?
Zero idea.
So there's two really easy ways. One, you can literally pick up any cart at any flea market and be able to tell instantly and be pretty close if it's legit, right? This is something anybody can do. The majority, and I don't want to say all of them because there'll be somebody who's out there who's like, actually. But almost all GBA games have a number stamped in the label, okay? It doesn't matter what the number is. It doesn't matter where the stamp is. If you see the label is pressed in with a number stamped into it, it is usually real because counterfeiters don't go that far. The other thing you can do to determine if a cartridge is real is if it says Nintendo on the board. Because most of the time, counterfeiters do not go that far to put right Nintendo on the shitty flashboard. So, when you're looking to buy a listing online, the legitimate sellers will zoom in on the part of the cartridge for the Game Boy Advance that has the stamp, to show you the stamp, and the legitimate sellers will also take apart the cartridge, they'll unscrew the back, and they'll show you where it says Nintendo on the board.
Interesting.
So, an easy way to determine if someone is selling a legitimate, or if someone is just a reputable, a retailer, or a seller. Anyway,
cool.
A little bit of a tangent. I just thought I'd share because I've been going very deep in my anti-piracy journey.
No, I that's very interesting to learn about. Thank you for telling us.
Yeah. All right. And I don't have a segue, but speaking of anti-piracy...
Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, you're talking about all your episodes, and you brought up Deadliest Warrior. And then in there, you talked about the episode of the IRA versus the Taliban. And it's crazy you bring them up because speaking of Irish civil wars...
Ooh, we just watched a movie about it.
Yes, we did. Well, is it about it, or is it kind of at the same time as one?
It's adjacent to it.
Adjacent, sure. We watched, what was the name of this movie? The
Banshees
Dunwich Borers? Oh, yes.
The Banshees of Inisherin.
That's what it was called. Right.
What you call it? The Dunwich Horrors?
The Dunwich Borers.
Oh.
It's a quest in Fallout 4.
Oh. Guess me this riddle. No. Yeah, so, Tommy, what did you think about the movie?
Oh, I have to go first?
Yeah.
Geez. Okay. This movie, it's a bunch of people just standing around kind of talking funny. And
okay.
And
there's okay, yep.
Am I accurate in saying that? Or am I
I think most movies are people just standing around talking, but all right.
No, this is a lot of standing around talking funny.
Talking funny.
And
no patty fingers.
It's I like this movie.
You're such an asshole.
CJ, how about you? How did you like this movie?
Oh, I think I liked it more on a rewatch.
Yeah?
Yeah, I watched it the first time I watched it by myself. I've never really gotten the chance to share it with anybody before. So it was nice to have somebody to watch it with, to have some extra perspective. you know?
Mm.
Because when you're watching it by yourself, sometimes you laugh and you wonder, now, would somebody else have laughed? You know?
Mhm.
Like, is this funny or did I just laugh? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that can be the two different things. So, in that respect, it was really nice to see it, but I just really think this movie is a man. It is just a great combination of so many of the things that I really like and appreciate about modern film, that and it blends them all together. And it's super character driven, which I also really like in
Mhm.
my intake of films. So, I mean, it just checks so many boxes for me. I'm just this movie's right up my alley. Even with the little bit of stuff which we'll get to, which personally, is on my ick list.
Mm. Right. I know what you're referring to now. Well, very cool. Yeah, I did really enjoy this movie. Do have a fair bit to say about it, but how about first we get to recapping it?
Yes, we can. And all right, I will be the recapper.
Awesome.
Let me pull up my notes here. All right, so
You took notes?
yeah,
Whoa.
calling them notes is very generous. So there's like there's like five important characters, I feel like, and everybody else is like just the band, right?
Mm.
So there's Colin Farrell, who plays Podrick. I'm not even gonna try saying his last name. Sulibihan.
Mm-hmm.
It's Irish. There's
I'm not even gonna try and say it. Immediately says it.
Yeah, I know. I'm good for that. There's Brendan Gleeson, who plays Colm Doherty. There's Kerry Condon, who plays Siobhan, who is Podrick's sister. There's, how do you say his last name? It's
I was like Kian.
Barry Keoghan, who plays Dominic Kearney, who's like, if y'all ever saw The Outsiders, he's like Johnny if Johnny was pathetic. He's like a dog nobody wants. And then his father is like the policeman, named his actor is Gary Lydon, and his name is Peter Kearney. Okay? So you have Patrick lives with Siobhan. His best friend is Colm Doherty. And then there's Dominic, who looks up to Patrick, and his dad is the police officer, who his name's not even really important. He's just a cop. Okay.
His name's like Peter.
Yeah. Really, it's Patrick, Colm, Siobhan, Dominic, and Peter, but it's Peter because it's Irish. Okay, so setting for this, I don't know that they explicitly say, and if they do, I apologize. It's like 1923.
Mm-hmm.
It's near the end of the Irish Civil War, and this is not a real place. This is a fictitious place. Inisherin literally means the island of Ireland. And so Patrick goes to Colm's house, and he knocks on the door, and Colm doesn't answer the door. And then Patrick looks in, and he just sees Colm sitting there smoking. And so he's like, huh, he's ignoring me. That's weird. So he goes home, and he explains the situation to Siobhan, and Siobhan's like, have you been rowing? And he's like, no, I haven't been rowing with Colm. And so everyone's like, oh, he got drunk, he said something stupid to him. So they encourage him to go back. And then he goes on ahead to the bar and he orders a beer. And if this is a little more in the weeds for the initial part of the movie, the only reason I'm going a little more in depth is because this is basically the premise of the whole film, and the rest is really character driven. But in terms of plot, this is actually really important. So he goes to the bar, he orders a drink, he goes back to Colm's house, he sees Colm is now going to the pub, right? He goes to the pub, and Colm doesn't want to talk to him. And he basically is like, hey, Colm is like, you're too dull. I don't want to talk to you anymore, and because you're too dull. So, like, Podrick is like, okay, well, whatever I did, I'm sorry. He's like, you didn't do anything. He's like, well, then why are we fighting? He's like, we're not fighting. You're just too dull. I'm just moving on. So, he goes home. The next day, he goes back to the bar. He goes back to the pub. And he talks to Colm. And Podrick and Colm are, like, arguing. And they have a little bit of an argument. And Colm comes out and he says, listen, yesterday, I was a little too rough. And he's like, a little bit too rough yesterday? You're a little bit too rough right now. And he's like, look, I don't want to waste the rest of the time that I have left listening to you talk about what you found in your little pony shit. And he's like, shows how much you've been listening. It was my little donkey shit. And he's like, that's what I'm talking about. So Colm wants to become like a music composer. He wants to write a song, right? So that is basically the premise. Colm is not talking to Podrick anymore. They all are on this island called Inisherin. And Podrick is devastated by this, because that is like his best friend. And apart from his sister, who he lives with, his animals, including his little donkey Jenny, who we talked about, he dug in through her shit, and two characters who we're about to meet, that's basically the extent of Podrick's world, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, him losing Colm is really significant. But Colm is like, as we find out soon, has been having some despair. So, they go to church. Everybody knows on the island what's going on. The father tries to talk to Colm. Colm doesn't want to hear it. He says it's not a sin to do what he's doing. And he says, yeah, but it's not very nice either. So then, and this is like, there's an hour of this, I would say. There's an hour of this. But it gets us to what is essentially the major plot point, the next major plot point. Colm issues a threat. I know that there's...
Before you get to the threat, I just wanted to go, you might have said it and it got lost in the shuffle in my brain. Just one other thing to set up before the threat is the stuff going on with Barry Keoghan and his dad.
Yes. So Barry Keoghan plays Dominic. Dominic, banned from the pub. He's kind of like an annoying sidekick. He's very chipper and annoying and whatever. He finds a giant hook and he like carries it into the bar.
Mm-hmm.
He sees, oh, is there women? And the pub owner says, get out of here with that big hook and don't bother the women. So he immediately goes up to the women with the big hook.
When we were watching it, we likened him to Scrappy Doo.
He is Scrappy Doo, yes. So his father, Peter, basically beats his son, right? With his fucking nightstick, okay? And I think I can now tell you that Colm has threatened because Podrick doesn't seem to be getting it. Because Podrick keeps going up to him and keeps trying to talk to him. He keeps thinking, oh, maybe he's joking. Maybe he wants me to talk to him. Like, it's funny how, like, in denial he is. And eventually, Combs like, I have a pair of shears at home. And every time you keep coming up and talking to me, I'm going to cut off one of my fingers. And at the time, it's like, okay, whatever. A little bit dramatic. So, I think there's one night where Dominic and Podrick go drinking, and you get a little bit of Dominic, but he's like really kind of into Siobhan, and he asked Podrick if he'd ever seen his sister naked. Like, he's just like the worst.
Yeah.
And he also, after he gets the shit beat out of him, they run into him in town the next day. Oh, they steal, that's right. They go to his dad's house. They like drink on a wall, but they steal his liquor. His dad, Peter, is drunk, asleep, sat up in his chair with nothing but his hat on. They steal his booze. His dad beats him. And so his sister Siobhan's like, okay, you can stay with us for one night, but like literally not another minute. They deliver milk to the market, I think, that day. And
which is they have to take a boat to the mainland for that, right?
Do they?
Was the market on the mainland?
I don't think so.
Oh. All right, wait, real quick. When you say the market, is that like where the little shop is where they get the mail? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
So they run into he's in the shop, and the shopkeepers are all whatever, like, you know, talking about Colm and whatever, and then Peter comes in. Podrick's insulted by Peter, so he retaliates by basically being like, you want news? Because the two old hens want news. He's like, you want news? Peter beats his son. He beats the shit out of his son. And the old women are like, that's not fucking news. So he then proceeds to beat the crap out of Podrick in the middle of the street. Colm sees it.
Peter, the dad.
Yeah. Yes, not the old woman. Colm then sees this, picks up Podrick, puts him in his cart, and he helps him get home. They get to the port where they're like at the fork. Colm is like emotionless the whole time. But Podrick doesn't basically speak. Sorry, Colm doesn't speak the whole time. Podrick's like hysterically crying.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets to the fork in the road. He puts the reins in his hands, and then he goes off towards his house, sends Colm down towards the other guy's house. So Dominic is Dominic that night at the house. He basically is getting kicked out. He's like, you can't stay here. So him and Podrick go to the pub where Colm is hanging out with Peter, the guy, the fucking cop, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Colm is like hanging out with him, and Podrick gets drunk on the whiskey and confronts Colm and basically yells at him, knowing that it could result in him cutting off his finger, for throwing away their friendship, as well as hanging out with Peter for publicly who he accuses of molesting Dominic, not just abusing him.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right in the middle of the pub.
Yeah, it like in front of everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dominic's like, I didn't tell him that, Daddy. Like, really uncomfortable.
Mm.
Siobhan takes Podrick away, and then Colm says, that's the most interesting he's ever been, which Dominic overhears, which is probably the worst thing that could have happened, because the next morning, Podrick doesn't remember what happens. Podrick goes to the beach to apologize to Colm, but the conversation goes so poorly. Dominic tells him basically, hey, maybe that's what he wants. Maybe he wants you to be kind of a dick to him. So he goes, and he's a dick to him on the beach. Conversation doesn't go well. And then Colm cuts off his left index finger and throws it at Podrick's door. Literally, they hear a hard thump, and they're like, "What's that sound?" And they see Colm walking away and his finger on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So he cut off his finger.
Mm-hmm. He did it. The mad lad did it.
Okay. So then Podrick's like fucking, now he's getting like mad, right? And the whole time he's nice. Like there's this whole sub thing going on where people say that Podrick is nice. Colm doesn't like that he's nice, or he doesn't think that being nice is good enough, right? No one will remember that Podrick is nice, and he's like, I'll remember, and my sister will remember, and you'll remember. He's like, no one's going to remember Mozart in the 17th century. And then, like, everyone remembers Mozart. And then, like, Podrick leaves, and then Siobhan goes, it was the 16th century. Right? So, like, there's like layers to it. There's also this whole under thing going on where Siobhan has been offered a job on the mainland, but she's like not sure if she's gonna take it or not. She finds that out when she goes to the market, and she finds that her letter's been opened. So then he goes and he meets a fiddler. Podrick meets a fiddler. Sees a guy named I don't remember if we get a name from him. She's a
the
fiddler
guy who
from the
is
mainland.
playing with. Is he the one who he passes? Who he's seen working with? Brendan Gleeson,
Yes.
Colum in the bar. Yeah, Declan.
All right, so he sees Declan, and then he's like, hey, do you want to ride? And so he offers him a ride, and then he lies to him that Podrick lies to Declan that his father was hit by a bread van, which makes it worse because his mother was killed by a bread van as well.
And he's like, do you think it's the same one?
If it's that same one, I'm gonna kill that motherfucker.
Oh, that was so goddamn funny.
So then Dominic tells Podrick what Colm said about him in the pub, and he goes to Colm, and he's like really like headstrong, like an asshole in the pub, and it almost looks like their friendship is saved, right? Almost. But then he mentions what he did to Declan, that he sent him away. And Colm says, why don't you go up ahead to the pub? Podrick goes there, waits all day. Colm never comes. He then tells Dominic what he did to Declan, and Dominic is now disappointed and says he's mean, he's just like everybody else, and he doesn't want to speak to him anymore. And then later there's a moment where Dominic's like, he tries to hit on Siobhan, it doesn't work. When Podrick tells Colm what he did, he had just finished his song called The Banshees of Inisherin. Even though there's no Banshees in Inisherin, he just thought the title sounded cool. Podrick is drunk, and instead of going to meet Podrick at the pub, Colm cuts off all 4 of his remaining fingers on his hand and throws them at Podrick's door. So Siobhan is like fed up with this at this point. She's tired of all this. She's tired of being on the island. She decides to take a job in the library.
The scene where he throws the fingers at the door, I just want to call out, like, what a good scene in the way it unfolds, because, you know, to this point, Colm had established, like, every time you talk to me, I'll cut off a finger. So, like, you assume, oh, he'll have cut off a second finger, and he throws one finger, reaches into his pocket, slowly takes out another one, throws it. You're like, oh my God, he cut off multiple. And it's just like you're slowly watching him throw all 4 and coming to the realization of, oh my God, he is off the deep end with this.
Yes.
Like he cut them all off. It's just like this slow dread that sinks in.
So Podrick is now super upset. Siobhan has gone. He is alone. Dominic won't talk to him. His best friend cut off all of his fingers rather than talk to him. He goes home and he finds that his donkey, Jenny, has choked to death on one of Colm's fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, really beautifully foreshadowed one earlier in the movie. She tried to eat everything on the table. He goes to next day. Padre goes to the pub, and he sees Colm, and Colm offers a truce, and says, "Why don't you just go your way, and I'll go my way?" And Padre informs him that tomorrow at 2:00, he is going to burn his house down.
Burn down Columns.
So the next day, he goes to burn down Colm's house. And he looks in the window like he did at the beginning of the movie, and he sees Colm just sitting inside. So Podrick takes Colm's dog, Sammy, so that he doesn't die in the fire. And there's also this other side character named Mrs. McCormick. She's like this old lady on the island. People hide from her so they don't have to talk to her. At one point, she says to Colin Farrell that death is coming to Inisherin.
Mm-hmm.
Pater sees that Podrick's house is burning down, and he runs to... he's watching Podrick burn down Colm's house, and he's going to go to Podrick's house to confront Podrick when he runs into Mrs. McCormick, who leads Pater down to Dominic's corpse in the lake, because Dominic has now died.
Mm.
It's ambiguous if he killed himself or if he fell. At the end of the movie, or toward the end of the movie, Podrick writes a letter to Siobhan and basically says that Jenny is doing well. He glosses over the fact that his life is now really lonely and friendless.
Mm-hmm.
And says, I believe that Dominic must have fallen in. Because that's when we see it. The next day, Podrick takes Sammy back and finds Colm, who survived the fire. He's on the beach outside his house. Colm apologizes for Jenny's death and says basically, hey, I killed your donkey. You destroyed my house. Now we're even. Like, our feud is now over. Podrick replies that it would have only ended if Colm had stayed inside. Colm wonders whether the Civil War is coming to an end. Throughout the movie, they talk about it here and there. I think Pater was going to go to the mainland for a sandwich to watch an execution. Like, he was going to get paid a paid lunch to basically work an execution. He didn't care what side. At some point, Colm does punch Pater in the face.
Absolutely clocks him.
Yeah. Podrick replies he is sure, basically, they're going to be done. But they'll start fighting again because some things there's no moving on from, and he thinks that's a good thing. He leaves, and then it kind of zooms out, and Mrs. McCormick silently has been watching them from the remains of Colm's house. And that's the movie.
So, where does Colm sleep after his house burns down?
You know, that's a good question, but that would be plot, and I think the movie doesn't have too much of that.
No, but let's just postulate, do you think he's taken up Dominic's empty bed?
Ooh, well, he might get diddled in that bed.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, I know. Maybe... I don't know. I have thought about this. Maybe he just lives on the beach.
Well, that can't be very sustainable. He'll get so cold. Well, actually, he has 5 less fingies to worry about getting cold, so maybe that would work in his favor.
Yeah, he did not do a good job on the removal.
Oh my gosh. No, we were talking about that during there's there's anywhere from, I feel like at least one of them he probably got right down to the nub. But for the most part, there's anywhere from a quarter to a half inch of his finger still on there.
Yeah, not great.
Mm-mm.
Not the job you'd like to see. But I think that for a movie about two people not talking to each other, which is what this movie is, there's so much that works between them,
Mm-hmm.
like there's like so much chemistry.
Big time.
Especially even though you don't want Colin Farrell to talk to Brendan Gleeson because he'll cut off his fingers.
Mm-hmm.
You still kind of want him to talk to him because it's so good.
Yeah, and you really empathize with Podrick. Like Colin Farrell's performance, and I'm sure we'll talk about this more later. You can feel the devastation, the hurt, the confusion. You can really feel all of that on his face and with the way he talks. So you want them to mend this. You want Podrick to become this person who Colin would want in his life. So you really want those interactions. Like you want Podrick to figure out how to communicate with Colin, like how he kind of does in that one time when he's like irate and berating him. And Colin's like, oh, he was interesting. You want that and you hope for it. But then there's the dread of, oh God, why are you doing this, Podrick?
Yeah. And so I don't know if you know this, actually. He did 2 movies. He did a couple movies in 2022. Do you know one of the other movies that Colin Farrell did in 2022?
In 2022, The Batman?
Yes.
Oh, man, what a duo.
Unrecognizable, but honestly, and I don't think that he's ever been a bad actor.
Mm-mm.
But I feel like maybe some, I don't know, some bad roles, some like, why are you in this role kind of thing. Like, wasn't he like, he did like Dumbo, and he did, like, there was a gap for me from like The Lobster all the way up until like, I guess The Batman, where I was like, a Colin Farrell movie wasn't getting me out to go see something.
Mm-hmm.
And The Lobster does trigger my fear, my very specific fear. So I didn't see The Lobster, but recognized game. I think the last Colin Farrell movie I saw before that was Saving Mr. Banks.
Oh man, I didn't even remember him being in that.
He's the father in that movie.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So, real quick side note, have you watched the Penguin show yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh, CJ.
I can't now.
Oh, why? Because you don't have. Oh, yeah, your
My free challenge,
stream. Yeah. Oh man. Well, maybe we can find some bootleg recreation of it for free on Tubi.
No. I'll watch it soon. But it is in its most weird way a film about relationships, and I do love the sort of the flip that happens here, right? That the whole movie, it's Colm, who I would say is the instigator, the agitator. But really all he wants is for Colin Farrell to leave him alone, right? All he wants is for Podrick to stop talking to him. But for somebody like Podrick, it's the most cruel thing you could ask. And there are times when Colm understands how cruel what he's asking is. And even to the point where at some point he says to the father in a later confession at the church, the despair has crept back a little bit. So like he thought getting rid of Podrick would solve his problems. And for a little bit it did, but not long term. But now the damage can never be undone. Right? Now it can't be, you can't unring the bell. Both permanently, physically, he cut off his fingers. He killed his donkey. Brendan Gleeson killed Colin Farrell's donkey, and his house is burned down. And there's a moment where it's like, I think almost where Colm, I don't even think he really believes this will make them even, but he offers it to him. He's like, this makes us even. Colin Farrell, his face is completely different in the last 20 minutes of this movie. It's like the first 2 hours of this movie or the first hour and 30 minutes of this movie are Colin Farrell's face. It's like he's searching for answers.
Mm-hmm. It's like a hurt but hopeful.
And every time that he gets an idea, he has to like run to Colm to try it. And Colm is getting exasperated. And then at the end, when it's flipped, Colm is making fucking small talk, which is something he lambasted him for, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Colin Farrell has this look on his face that would just turn sand into glass.
Mm.
And you really feel it. When he says some things there's no moving on from, and that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's
like, there's just so much pain. There's there's that like just heartbreak, the devastation. There's also like looking at him like what a fucking hypocrite in a way. It's just such a loaded performance and scene.
It's that moment when it's like when you're like, I don't know, a teenager or something, or a kid, and there's that moment when someone hits you, right? Or you're horsing around, or someone gives you a smack, and then you go to hit them back, and then they cower, right? Not literally that Colm didn't appreciate getting hit back, that he didn't want Hodrick to hit him, but that almost like that feeling that's like feelings are for other people, or sorry, I'm the one that has feelings and other people don't.
Yeah,
this like total neglect of reciprocation of the situation. Like, this was gonna end with you getting smacked. To what end? Right? And it's better this way, but there is this deep-seated feeling, even at the very last moment of the film, where you in the audience almost want them to just go to the pub at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You feel it. Like, it's just so palpable, and they get so much out of every moment. It's an exercise in film chemistry between two principals who are phenomenal, and they have a lot of on-screen chemistry, and you just feel it, And also, by the way, a funny movie.
Yeah, big time.
Not without comedy, not without humor. And it, nominated for Best Motion Picture at the Golden Globes that year for musical or comedy, which it won.
That's so interesting that it was classified as a comedy there.
Yeah. It beat Babylon, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Glass Onion. Yeah, and Everything Everywhere All at Once cleaned up.
Yeah.
Now, for Best Picture, there is no such distinction. There's just Best Picture.
Right.
So maybe the Golden Globe kind of gave it a different edge. But it also won Best Actor and Best Screenplay.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting too because and this is more of a discussion for awards in general. Like, this beats out Everything Everywhere, and then Everything Everywhere goes on to win Best Picture overall at the Oscars.
Mm-hmm.
So, but no, going back to your point, like talking about Brendan Gleeson and Colin Farrell, like they are also a duo, especially with working with this director. They've all worked together as a group before. There is just so much tangible history when they are together. Like, you can, you were talking about their chemistry. It's so believable that they are so believable in these roles as these characters who have known each other forever, likely lived on Inisherin their whole lives. And, it's such a narrow world. It's such a small world that they live in that, they were probably born there and have spent 50 years or however long every day seeing each other. Right. And it's so believable that they are these two dudes. There's like a shorthand to them in a way between them.
Yeah. It's so funny. We were talking about, what was her name? Tilly Norwood in the pre-show?
Yeah, your favorite actress.
This is what AI actress Tilly Norwood can't give you. Tilly Norwood doesn't have experiences.
Right.
Right? Tilly Norwood doesn't have relationships.
Right. Well, we already established she's a virgin.
You can't establish anything with her in the way that, like, these two on screen can. God, and I love Brendan Gleeson.
He's fantastic, isn't he?
I don't like to talk about Harry Potter, but he is one of my favorite characters in Harry Potter. He plays, and I don't know that I have a favorite character per se, but I guess I just have favorite actors. Someone else who's really one of my favorites in that is God, what is his name?
Pierce Brosnan.
No, what's his no
Daniel Craig?
No, you're naming people that aren't in. I'm gonna get it and I'm gonna be mad at you. Jim Broadbent. Do you know Jim Broadbent?
Let me look him up.
He played
this dude. Oh, I recognize
Slughorn.
this dude. Yeah, I recognize this guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. God, I love that guy. And so there's just a few people from that series that I really like, and it makes it somewhat tolerable. But
Jim Broadbent perpetually looks like he's in on a joke that nobody else knows.
He also has looked basically like the same age for the last 20 years, which is a great skill to have. Because you always look older. Harder to look younger. I think genuinely this might be. I know I've listed it as one of my favorite films. I'm wondering where it stands in relation to like cinema in this century that we're in. It's certainly one of the best films of the 2020s. That's not disputable. We have a quarter century down, right? So we have 25 years of this century.
Yeah.
I think this is probably one of the top 50 movies of the last 25 years.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Oh, yeah. Like, that's the class of film that we're talking about.
Yeah, it's terrific.
Yeah.
Which I guess I haven't really spoken to my full thoughts yet. This is a phenomenal film. It is just emotional. It is moving. It is compelling. These characters are so well realized. It feels, the thing that I kept going to is it feels very Shakespearean. It feels like that type of just, close-knit tragedy. You have a handful of players and it's just about the drama between them and a couple people taking really drastic and dramatic action, making really, really big decisions over personal, very personal things.
Yeah. The scene with the donkey where he's holding the donkey in his arms.
Oh my God. Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about this. This was the first Okie Dokie film to make me cry. And first I gotta say, CJ, how fucking dare you? What is wrong with you? You know Jenny's fate going into this, walking into this film. The whole movie is this donkey Duncan or Edison, which are my dogs. And I'm like, you are setting me up for devastation. How dare you? I told Jade after the movie, I was telling her about it and I told her about that and she was mad at you.
She was mad?
Yeah. She was like, how dare CJ?
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
and like I was taking notes throughout the movie. I was like, oh, Jenny walks in at dinner because she wants company, but she's told no by Colin Farrell's sister, so she like shrinks away out of the doorway. That was an Edison move. Counter surfing, that's more of a Duncan, but the way she did it was definitely an Ed. I was taking notes, ready to come to the post show and talk about which of the dogs Jenny was, but I had to throw it out because I cannot liken the dogs to Jenny in this movie because it's just devastating. I was a wreck. I was an absolute wreck, especially when he's holding Jenny's body. Oh my God.
Okay, in hindsight, a little evil.
A little. I'd go farther than that.
I felt like in the moment you had done something to wrong me.
And
But
that
I
thing
don't-
is?
I don't remember what it is now.
Well, I'm guessing it was just a perceived thing then, and I think I'm owed an apology.
I think we're even.
I don't know about that.
Tommy, I am sorry for asking you if Jenny the donkey was Duncan or Edison.
Thanks.
But now that you've made all the notes,
Now that I made all the notes.
was Jenny the donkey Duncan or Edison?
What the fuck? You go ahead and ask it again? What is wrong with you? Can't
Well,
believe
you
you.
already made all the notes.
Nope. Out the window.
You know, that's fair enough. Man, it's a really good movie. It's like
it's really good.
it like for me far outpaces In Bruges,
Which
Which
I
is
have
a-
not seen.
which is a little tough because like this is the top of the tree and that's the trunk,
Okay.
so
What do you mean by that?
like one grew from the other. You don't
Oh,
get
okay.
this without In Bruges because you
I
don't
see.
get, you know what I mean?
Yeah, walked so it could run type of thing. One does
Yeah.
not exist without the other.
Right.
Gotcha.
So, and it was, Martin McDonagh's first full-length feature, and, it has, Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson and Ralph Fiennes, and it has, he's only done a couple of films. I think he's done more plays than he's done films.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with the breadth of his work, but from what I understood about Martin McDonagh, he's much more of like a stage guy than a film person.
But I'll tell you this. Between this and In Bruges and 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, and 7 Psychopaths, that's a really good filmography. That's you know what I mean? That's pretty good. Like, there are people that have way worse shit in their backlog than that.
Yeah, like poor Danny DeVito, man.
No, Danny DeVito's impeccable.
We both watched Renaissance Man.
Are you talking shit about Don't Throw Mama from the Train?
No, I'm talking shit about Renaissance Man.
I'll make you watch Don't Throw Mama from the Train.
I didn't say anything bad about Don't Throw Mama from the Train.
All right, well, that's good.
That's a very scary sounding film to try and talk bad about. I don't want to have to watch that shit.
What is the name of this movie? I can't find it. Danny DeVito.
Banshees of Inisherin.
No, I know. Shut up. It's got to have a stupid name.
Stop or my mom will shoot.
No, it's Throw Mama from the Train.
Oh.
Yeah. Danny DeVito
Damn.
directed that movie.
Oh, man. Oh, poor Danny DeVito. So getting back to Banshees. I wanted to, I guess, first ask you, what is your take on why the movie is called The Banshees of Inisherin? Of course, in the movie, Brendan Gleeson, as Colum, gives the reasoning that he named the song he was writing Banshees of Inisherin just because he liked the way it sounded. He liked the double sh sound. But I don't think Martin McDonagh called this Banshees of Inisherin just for the same reason. So, CJ, I wanted to get your thoughts on why this movie is called what it is.
Well, maybe it's like, so maybe the Banshees of Inisherin are, maybe it's like a thunderous silence sort of oxymoron, right? Like maybe it's not like a literal howling ghoul, but maybe it's the drunkenness and the abuse and the silence and the loneliness of the people on the island, that are the real banshees.
Mm-hmm.
That's my guess.
Okay.
I took a
I like
shot
that
at
take.
a little symbolism for you.
Yeah. I guess for those who are, maybe not up to snuff or on their Irish folklore, just to kind of talk briefly as to what a banshee is. It pretty much I don't know if ghost is the right word. A presence, a female presence, spirit type deal that like wails, shrieks, screams, and it's traditionally in Irish folklore is someone who foretells or portend. I think that was a word that was used in the movie that I looked up because that's a good word. Portends the death of someone close to you or like family, friend.
Yeah.
And I think that to your point, like I do like the take on it. It could be a bit oxymoronic in that, Brendan Gleeson's column, like his silence is foretelling of things to come.
Yeah. It is the loudest thing on the entire island is the vacuum between the two of them.
Mm-hmm. It's really, like we were just saying, this is a small town type deal. So everyone is up in everyone's business. So that makes a lot of sense in that, like you said, this is a loud thing, this silence between them.
Yeah, everywhere you
like
go, they ask, "Are you rowing?" Or, "Oh, it's not very nice." Or, "What'd you do to him?" Or, "Were you drunk? Were you on the whiskey?" Like, it's not something that is pushed to the wayside. I would say banshees, I would associate like words like wailing, or like a cry, a shriek kind of thing. I wanted to really touch on this, and I'm trying to think of a movie that takes something that's so low stakes and makes the stakes as high as they are. And not artificially, because I feel like if it was a modern director with a modern adaptation of a book, like whatever 85% of what Hollywood is right now, the first thing that Brendan Gleeson would have done was cut off one of his fingers, and we would have seen it. You never see him cut off a finger, first of all. Because there's more power in the sound of the finger hitting the door and the surprise that he actually did it. Than the shock that you would get. Yeah, than the shock you would get from watching him do it. Right? The scene where you think Podrick and him are going to make up, and then Podrick reveals that he sent off Declan. He goes to pick up his shears and brings them back in, and the dog is sad about it.
The dog takes the shears away at one point.
Yeah, exactly.
God, but Sammy was such a good boy.
It takes... Okay, is Sammy Duncan or Edison?
Good question. Let me think on that. Continue your thought.
Okay. So I'm trying to think of a movie that just takes something so low stakes, right? Like I'm trying to think like in episodes, there's always what I would call a budget saver episode. An episode that takes place entirely in one location. Yeah. Where it is entirely built on one unique set, and maybe it's the episode of your favorite sitcom where they get locked in a vault.
Yeah, the bottle episode, as they're often called. Or
they're held up at a bank, right? They're a hostage, and they can't leave that room. Or if they do, they're off screen. right? And they're cheaper to produce, they're easier to write, and I've been thinking about that, but you get more out of them because they're all entirely character driven or dialogue driven, right?
Mhm. Yeah,
Like,
I was gonna say the first, when you first kind of posited that question of a low stakes film that's really ratcheted up and turned high stakes, the first one that came to my mind that you then, are talking about all of this stuff with location too. The first one that came to my mind was The Lighthouse, which I don't believe you've seen.
no, I don't know what it is.
It's a film directed by Robert Eggers, the guy who made Nosferatu, The Vivitch, and The Northman, and it is a movie starring Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe, and it is the two of them. They are lighthouse keepers, and they are on like an island, keeping this lighthouse, and they they don't want to spoil it too much. They slowly lose their sanity, but it is, super simple in premise and setup, and ultimately is a story that's like, yeah, all they got to do is just do their job, sit there, get through this. But of course, things between them unfold and the stakes get ratcheted up, even though it's just two dudes sitting there who are supposed to keep a lighthouse going.
Yeah, interesting. I think about that's a great example of what we're talking about. I'm trying to think of if there's anything else off the top of my head that stands out.
I feel like Eternal Sunshine doesn't quite fit the bill.
No, it's too expansive, especially with the internal stuff,
Mm-hmm.
Like short films probably do it more,
Yeah.
It has to be something budget constrained.
Yeah. 12 Angry Men came to my mind, though.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of high stakes to begin with.
Yeah, it's not really it does build on itself, but it already has a premise.
Yeah.
Right. So, okay, yeah. No, so I think that it really is just like the case of where you're going to walk into this. And this is one of those times where I feel like I knew that there was the threat from the trailer. This is one of the few times I ever saw a trailer because my friend shared it with me, and before the movie came out, and I knew that he had made the threat because they put that line in the trailer, and you basically have to, because without the threat, you can't cut a trailer for this movie. Nothing happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're just gonna have, there's no yelling, really. Like, there's no action. There's no physical, like, the fights are not really fights. Hudrick gets the shit beat out of him with a baton, and then Colm punches Pater once, and he goes down. Like, that's it. Like, in terms of, like stunt work, there really isn't anything exciting you put into the thing. So they put that. Go into this as blind as you can is always my recommendation for any movie, but for this, especially, if you didn't know anything about this movie, amazing.
Yeah. Which it was quite an experience going into this knowing nothing. I knew nothing of the plot. I knew nothing of the characters. I knew nothing of the setting other than Ireland. And that one was just an educated guess because it stars Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really, really fantastic experience just watching this unfold. And I think just adds to that Shakespearean atmosphere I kind of was talking about earlier.
Yeah. People sometimes like think Shakespearean and they're like, they think of like, "Zoon, sir, you are one of those that will not serve God if the devil bid you. Because we come to do you service, and you think we are ruffians. You'll have your daughter covered with a Barbary horse. You'll have your nephews neigh to you. You'll have your coursers for cousins and Gettits for Germans, right? Like, they think that that's what you're, like, doing. But, like, it's just the nuance of a scene playing out. It's the difference between not showing something, the restraint in letting a story happen without just showing you the gory details, letting something happen through dialogue, letting something happen through character, and literally having it play out, not through action or events or you know, like, that scene that quote is from Othello, right? And it's from the scene where has one of my favorite quotes, which is your daughter and the Moor are now making the beast with two backs, which is saying that your daughter and this black dude are having sex, but he's literally telling the guy's fucking telling the girl's father that she's sleeping around with this guy, right? And like, it's meant to piss him off because it's meant to start the beginnings of his evil plan, right? Iago's evil plan. All that you can do in a Shakespearean sense on a stage is dialogue, right? What are you gonna do? I mean, sure, yeah, okay, I'll have a sword and you'll have a sword, and I'll have a knife, or I'll stab you, or you will have poison and you'll faint, right? Like, Shakespeare was writing on a budget too. Nothing happens that couldn't happen on a stage setting, you know? He's not writing for television.
Right.
So
they ain't got no CGI budgets.
Yeah, no CGI budgets. So all that to say, it's just, sometimes people hear Shakespearean and think, "Do you quarrel, sir?"
Yeah.
I bite
they think
my
strictly of the manner. They think iambic pentameter. They think that Middle English dialogue.
Yeah, exactly.
So, speaking of old people, I want to talk about the old woman in this film.
Really?
Ms. What was she? McCormick?
McCormick,
yeah. So, first off, where does she live?
Inisherin?
I mean, she doesn't live with, like, anyone that we know in the movie, right? This is less a leading question, more just like, we don't know, because when the movie started, at first, I think the first time we see her, she's hanging out with Podrick and Siobhan, and I was like, oh, she lives with them, okay.
No, how could you think that?
It was just the very first scene when we saw her. I was like, oh, does she live with them? Oh, okay. I guess not. But so in the movie, she gives this warning to Podrick that one, maybe two people are gonna die on Inisherin.
So she's like the literal banshee.
Yes. So I wanted to bring her up in that, you know, she predicts, I guess, in a way, both Dominic and Jenny's death. She is the one who leads Dominic's father to Dominic's dead body. I feel like she just kind of has a looming presence in some shots, like just kind of hanging around. Never anything too ominous, but at times I feel like she has a knowing aura about her. So what's your read on her and her role? Is she a literal banshee? Is she just a manifestation of the idea? Is she just an old woman who's kind of off her rocker and it just kind of aligns with this stuff? You know, like you had mentioned earlier, Dominic's death is a bit ambiguous how it happens. It just kind of happens. And there is a lot of ambiguity to this film, which I love. So I guess, what was your read on Mrs. McCormick's importance to the plot or themes?
Man, I had a thought and it went right out of my head.
Oh man, I feel like we've had this conversation.
Deja vu.
You know what saying I hate? I hate when people say it's like deja vu all over again. And I'm just like, okay, let's break this down a second. Deja vu in and of itself, is feeling something again, right? This memory of a thought.
Yeah.
Deja vu all over again to me implies I got deja vu of my deja vu, you know?
Hey, listen, I hear you.
It
You're preaching
pisses
to the
me
choir.
off.
You know, I am thinking about, does she exist in
Yeah.
this town? And everyone ignores her, everybody avoids her. They literally hide behind rock walls. Like,
Yeah.
she's a looming presence that she's like an old spinster that nobody wants to spend time with. And like Patrick like makes fun of Siobhan in the beginning, but in the moment at the time that we saw Siobhan with Ms. McCormick, I took it more that was a mirror for Siobhan of what Siobhan could be if she stays on the island. Right? Like, this is a woman who lived her whole life on the island. The island basically consumes everything. You will have nothing, right?
Mhm.
Your brother will die. Your parents are already dead. They actually talk about how long ago her parents had died. That's something that Mrs. McCormick wants to bring up. And she's just like, is always at the center of conversations about death. And she's the only one that talks about it. And so it's like, okay, old lady, all right, cool. It's like, I remember when this used to be a stone wall with a field, and now it's a stone wall with a field and a house. It's like, cool.
Mhm.
Like, she is like a marker on a timeline, waiting for the other marker to be placed. And like, for me, I was like, okay, she is the mirror for Siobhan, and the first inkling that she may be wanting to leave, especially when Podrick reveals that she hides from her. And there's this like look of like I don't know, shame or embarrassment on her face while she's left with Mrs. McCormick. You know?
Mhm.
I had such a great thought, man. It's really killing me. You know, does she have to be a literal anything, right? Like, I think, to your point, there is a lot of ambiguity in this movie, and I think that works to its great benefit. And to that end, you know, as just a vague shadow of maybe a harbinger of death, right? I think that's the purpose she serves, but not in a supernatural way. More so in like a figurative way. Like,
So
the story doesn't do anything to make her otherworldly. But
okay, I guess that's a moment though that I'm not I think I kind of disagree in, again, kind of going back to the Shakespearean way. I think it kind of works both ways, in both this otherworldly manifestation, but also I really loved your point to her being almost a cautionary tale to Siobhan. And specifically the scene that I think really cements both home to me is when Siobhan leaves. She is on this boat sailing away, and Colin Farrell is standing on the cliff waving down to her. And she's looking up at him, blowing him a kiss. And there's no one around Colin Farrell at all. At all. We see in a wide, like, he is alone on this cliff. And he's waving. And then we cut to a close of him. And he puts his hand down from waving, and standing right behind where his hand was in the distance is someone in black. And it kind of looks like Miss McCormick. And it kind of looks like, I don't know if it's me reading into a blurry blob or not. Looks like kind of someone with like the stick hook that she has. So in that moment, then Siobhan, you know, he puts his hand down. We see this figure in the background. We see Siobhan then looking at Colin Farrell smiling, And then she kind of looks over to the left where this figure is, and she kind of gets this almost like a concerned look on her face, you know? And I think that it works on two layers. One of this warning, this cautionary tale, seeing out this person not living through, not delivering on that idea of her, you know, being trapped on this island, becoming this person. But also, this is the scene that immediately precedes Colin Farrell finding Jenny dead. Colin Farrell, like literally from this cliff, goes home, finds Jenny. And I think that, again, to use that $5 word, is a moment of her like portending this fate of someone close to them. And I think Siobhan kind of picks up on that. Not that it's like, oh shit, she's here, something's dead, something's gonna be dead, someone's gonna be dead, but like there is a genuine concern to her face of like, this isn't good, you know?
I had forgotten the scene on the cliff, and I would like to amend my answer. Yes, I believe she is a banshee.
Really great scene too, because like it is, we never focus on her. It is just this black blob in the background that we see Siobhan look at, so we know that it's not just like, oh, someone was standing in the background of the shot on accident, right?
Yeah.
Really, really well done. And to me, again, kind of plays into, I had mentioned how it plays into the Shakespearean side. Like there are these unexplained, otherworldly, mystical forces in so many Shakespearean stories that just largely go unexplained or loom about the borders of the greater story being told. And this just felt like it really fit the bill for me.
Yeah. I guess her holding the stick with a hook on it is a little on the nose. But
Yeah,
that
so
was Dominic's stick.
I was going to say, when did she get the stick back from Dominic?
I'm not sure. Well, I guess after he died.
I guess so. I guess.
Why'd you wait to bring me into his body, Mrs. McCormick? Well, you kept hiding behind a fucking wall.
I loved that running bit of everyone, like multiple people hiding behind walls in this. Because it's not just something that they say at the start. Like there are multiple moments where people hide behind walls from other people.
Yeah, for sure.
So, kind of pivoting. I mean, first, I failed to bring up that this was part 2 in our duology on the Irish and examination of their culture with Sinners. I guess, which movie of these two do you think did a better examination of the Irish and their culture?
Oh, probably this one, but only because it takes place in fictionalized Ireland.
See, but then it's fake Ireland. How faithful can we really say it is?
Yeah, but isn't the Paddy Mayne not actually Irish?
I mean, the actor, yeah. Well, his father's Irish.
Yeah, well, my father, yeah. All right. I'm going to go with this one.
Yeah, you know, I think I would probably agree. Has a bit more day-to-day life.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
I wanted to bring up, and this was kind of my big thing, was how about the two of us try and put some words to where Colum is at in this movie? What is his state of mind? Like, what is your read on Colum and why he's doing this?
He's definitely facing, I feel like, existential dread.
Mm-hmm.
This idea of like, I'm going to die and nobody will remember me.
Yeah, it's almost like a midlife crisis.
Yes. I think he's a little older than that, but yeah. I think they said something like 10 more years.
Yeah.
Now he's got to do it without his fiddle hand, but a little maybe he is not thinking more than a day ahead at a time. He literally is thinking about finishing his song. And the moment he finished the song, he was like, all right, I don't need my hand anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah,
really? You don't even want to do revisions?
Right. Or play it and enjoy the piece of music you created.
You don't want to make another one?
No, it's so interesting because he's like, yeah, what will I have? What will I have to show for my life? He has that whole thing we talked about where he's like, people don't talk about how people were nice. People talk about their accomplishments, what they have created, what they've given to the world. And he, is seeking this meaning to his life. And it's so interesting how he is so counterintuitively self-destructive in his pursuit of this legacy that he has made up in his mind. Right? It's like this, on one hand, there's a nihilism to it. On the other hand, there's that existentiality. There's a sense of apathy in there. There was one line that he said, I jotted it down, where he said he was just entertaining himself while staving off the inevitable.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I think these are all practical feelings for somebody living in late 1920s Ireland that just doesn't have the words for them.
Mm-hmm. Like, he's 100% having like a mental health episode of some sort, right?
Yes, and everyone basically is like, Podrick, quit talking to him.
Yeah.
It's the one thing he can't do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, another thing kind of on that note is I just wanted to call attention to one thing I particularly loved, which is the final two lines of this movie, which are when they are, actually real quick before I move on to that, there was a really fantastic visual kind of going alongside Cullum's existentiality in this crisis he's facing, where it's the moment where when Podrick goes to confront him on the beach, like pretty early, like an hour into the movie, when it's shortly before he cuts off the finger, right? The scene before, it's the scene that makes him decide to cut off the finger. Cullum is standing on the beach in a set of footprints from someone who the night before or something had walked out into the ocean. And he is standing specifically like in the footprints, not near them, not, to the side, in the footprints. And he's like, 10 feet from the ocean. I just thought that was a very powerful image to, kind of reflect where he's at in his life and this looming death that he, like you said, 10 more years. This, he is close to it, but he's not quite there. I just thought that was a very strong visual.
Yeah.
So I wanted to call attention to that.
This too, at the end when they're both at the beach, and they're talking about how basically they've agreed the war has ended, and Colin Farrell says that they'll be back fighting at it again. Basically foreshadowing that they're not out of the woods yet, right?
Yeah.
Like there are going to be more conflicts. And obviously Irish history is a little muddy and a little complicated, but, like this isn't the end of the conflict. The final two lines, as you alluded to them, some things there's no moving on from, and I think that's a good thing, right?
So those actually weren't the lines I was speaking of, but they do play into it.
Okay,
sorry,
go ahead.
The ones that I was going to say is when Podrick goes to walk away, Cullum just says to him, "Thanks for looking after my dog." And he goes, "Anytime."
Oh, yeah.
And I just thought that was such a resonant line to end it on, particularly because of Colin Farrell's delivery in the, like, this heartbreak inside of him when he says that. Like, there is like this deep care for him still, but at the same time, this distance.
Yeah, it's like the only thing holding him together is like his like boiling anger. Otherwise, I feel like he would just collapse into a pile of tears.
Yeah, he is a broken human at this point.
Yeah, someone who was just happy and nice, is now
Like a week ago.
Yeah, a week ago. But you liked me yesterday. Yeah. But yeah.
So I guess
I don't have any other thoughts. Do you?
I mean, how about favorite scenes or performances?
Yeah, no, I really like the two main leads in this film. Obviously I said that they have a lot of chemistry. I've seen in Bruges, and I described that as being the trunk, and this is the top of the tree. So definitely a lot of there's a lot of growth there. There's a lot of relationship there. There's a lot of experience here, and you get so much of that. So the two of them definitely. I think that in his capacity as Scrappy Doo, Barry Keoghan did a pretty good job. He was
particularly effective, huh?
Yeah, he is particularly effective in that role, and particularly feckless and wimpy when required, which is, prudent when your father is abusive, sexually abusive, and just prick of a cop.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like basically every scene where Colin thinks that talking to Colin, every scene where Podrick thinks that talking to Colin will solve the problem are my favorite scenes.
Yeah, those are scenes that definitely like make you as a viewer like almost flail your arms to try and get him to stop.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, that's the last thing you should do. Like,
yeah.
Really? You think I should go talk to him? No, it's the last thing you should do.
He is just so clueless. Oh my god.
But like you said, the scene with the donkey is legitimately tear jerking. So.
Oh my god, it's brutal. Absolutely brutal. For myself, I'm glad you called out Barry Keoghan because I totally forgot. He is really great in providing what that role needs. I think it would be he is annoying by design, though I think that it's a narrow walk in having that land and have him not be just annoying in existence as a character, like one where you're just like, I just wish he wasn't in the movie, right? Mm-hmm. He makes so much sense in the movie. I at no point was like, God, I freaking wish they didn't do Dominic. Having him in there was a mistake. So definitely appreciated his performance. And for me, Colin, like Brendan Gleeson's fantastic in this. He does everything that's required from him and more. But Colin Farrell, just I cannot remember, and I know I've seen other roles where people are able to step up to this, but I can't recall the last time I saw a role where just with the facial, like just the way he emotes, really conveying like just this devastation and this helplessness and this confusion, just him not understanding. I just think that he's so believable he's kind of oafish in a way, right? And Colin Farrell just absolutely threads the needle in having him be all of these things while also incredibly sympathetic. And then for favorite scenes, I think my favorite scenes, there's so many fantastic ones, but I think my favorite is when when he goes to confront Colum at his house before Colum cuts off all of his fingers, and the Sammy drags the shears away. When Colum's like laying in, when Colin Farrell Podrick's kind of laying into him, and it's kind of going well, and then Colin Farrell gets up and he's like, well, this went well, so I'll see you down for a pint at the pub, and walks away. And Brendan Gleeson has this look on his face like, did he just fucking do that? God, I have to cut off the rest of my fingers now. So that leading into that, and then the scene of him chucking all of the fingers individually. Just, oh my God, that scene, the way it plays out and slowly unfolds, just the knot in your stomach, you can feel it twisting with every second that passes, as like, oh my God, he threw one. Wait, he's not walking away, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, but I think a more important question is, CJ, could you have done the Banshees of Inisherin?
Okay. I could definitely do a Podrick.
You could definitely do a Podrick. So I guess when you say you could do a Podrick, what could you accomplish as him?
I could get you to cut off your fingers, and I would burn your house down.
That I have no doubt of.
Yep. I would not be able to do a column because I could not cut off my own fingers.
You know, considering Podrick's the main character, I think I will jot down in Tominio's ledger that this is a yes, CJ could have done it.
Hey, that's a win for me.
Yeah. Well,
not hard when the main character just has to talk. I feel like.
When you just have to show up places, drink a little bit, yell at people.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Well, how about the premiere question then? Is the film okie dokie?
The film is 1,000% okie dokie.
I am with you. This is definitely an okie dokie film. And CJ, I don't know if you know this, if you've noticed, we're on quite a streak right now.
Oh, yeah?
This is our 6th film in a row where there has been not a single no for is it okie dokie?
Oh, you're going to change that, aren't you?
I don't know. I don't know.
So we've had 6 in a row.
We've been eating good. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, and listen, last episode had an extra person.
Exactly. We've been
So
eating
what were the
real
last
good.
6?
The last 6 were Young Frankenstein, The Lost World Jurassic Park, The Quiet Man, The Rundown, Sinners, and The Banshees of Inisherin.
All of them are equally good, apparently.
Yeah, you know, I put The Lost World Jurassic Park on the same level as Sinners.
I put The Rundown on the same level as The Banshees of Inisherin.
Yeah, you know, they've been saying it, that if The Rundown released in 2022, that it would have won the Golden Globe for Best Musical or Comedy.
I've been calling this place a Band-Aid for years.
All right. Well, on that note, yes, let's walk down our hallway to the rec room.
Yeah, watch your step. I recently had my brother-in-law come, and he angle grinded the cement, and he painted the floor.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, especially considering that there was shag carpet in here not too long ago.
We're rebuilding. All right, and this is the rec room.
Yes. So CJ, what have you engaged with as of late that you would like to recommend to our audience?
It's funny. I actually have very little to recommend in terms of content because I've been limited to only free. But I will recommend, if this is on Tubi, let me pull up my thing. I will recommend the Looney Tunes show. It was originally made for Cartoon Network, I believe, and it has 2 seasons, and basically it's like the Looney Tunes cast, but it's like they have jobs and they live a normal life and they have real relationships, and I find it very charming and really funny. I've seen it before, but yeah, it was on here, and I'm like, oh, it's on here. Cool. I can just watch it. Season 1 has 26 episodes. I believe Season 2 has quite a few as well. It also has 26 episodes. So there's 52 episodes of this show. It came out in 2013. I'm a big fan of the Looney Tunes, but if you want to give it a shot, it's pretty accessible. The episodes are only 20-30 minutes, and you can watch 2 in an hour and determine pretty quickly if you like it. It is not the usual zany, it's more slice of life, sitcom type elements, but still a big fan. And the other thing that I will recommend this week, I only have 2. Again, I am super limited, but I will recommend a game. I will recommend Castlevania, Dawn of Sorrow. I've been playing a lot of the Castlevania games. I played Aria of Sorrow recently, which I would definitely recommend. If you've never played that game, you should 1000% play it. I wasn't sure if I had recommended Aria of Sorrow or not, but if not, I'll recommend both Aria and Dawn. You can get the Castlevania Advance Collection basically anywhere you play games for like $20, and you can get the Dominus Collection for $25. You will need both to play Aria and Dawn. They are sequel. Dawn of Sorrow is a sequel, but it's a really fun game. It's a little different than the other Castlevania games. You pick up souls of monsters, and then you gain their power. Instead of having sub-weapons and primary weapons, that's how you navigate through the castle. And if you like Aria or Dawn, you will love the other one. And also, that same team went and made Bloodstained, which is a spiritual successor because Konami does not make Castlevania games anymore. So if you like Metroidvanias, you should check those out. They're really fun. I highly recommend them. Tommy,
Nice.
what you got?
Real quick, I do have a question about the Looney Tunes show. You say that they have jobs and whatnot. What are Bugs and Daffy's jobs?
I think they're jobs. I might have screwed up by saying that they have jobs, but they have lives, Okay. I think like Speedy Gonzales in particular has he owns a Mexican restaurant.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's stuff.
Gotcha. Well, I guess getting onto my Rex then. I actually also very light on Rex. In fact, I only have one recommendation this week.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to recommend a little movie that just came out called One Battle After Another. This is the new Paul Thomas Anderson film. Paul Thomas Anderson, of course, of Boogie Nights and There Will Be Blood and The Master fame. This is I'll preface by saying one of the best movies of the year. When Jade and I walked out of it, we both pretty much right away were like, we liked Sinners better, but this is a Best Picture winner film. Like right now, this is the front runner for Best Picture winner next year at the Oscars.
Wow.
This is a movie where Leonardo DiCaprio, I believe that's his name. Have you heard of this? Yeah, have you heard of this man? So
I might have, yeah.
He and Teyana Taylor, they are revolutionaries here in the United States. And Sean Penn plays a colonel who how do I talk about what this movie's about without spoiling it? In short, it's a political movie of where Leonardo DiCaprio is running around trying to I don't want to give away too much. He is running around trying to find either something or someone while that something or someone is also fleeing from a third party. I talked about Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Teyana Taylor in it. They all give incredible performances. Teyana Taylor, Best Supporting Actress, highly likely. Sean Penn, I would not be surprised if he wins either Best Actor in a lead or supporting role, whichever one they decide to nominate him for. Chase Infinity is fantastic in it. Benicio del Toro is incredible. Regina Hall, incredible. Really, really great film. I don't want to say much more than what I've already said. Really great. If you love movies, if you love Paul Thomas Anderson, if you just love good movies, check this out if you can, preferably on the big screen. I think that's it for my recommendations this week. Been
just
not
one.
too much. Yeah, not too much media consumed these last couple weeks. Been pretty busy and also just been reading a fair bit.
Okay.
So,
all right.
and reading and not having finished any books that I would recommend right now. So,
All right.
well, with that being said, let's watch our stepping kind of wait, is it okay for me to walk on the painted concrete? I should have asked beforehand.
Well, it's okay. Well, you've already done it now, so.
Shoot. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just trounce on out. But here we are at the next time on podium. CJ, would you believe me if I told you that the Banshees of Inisherin are actually part 1 of a duology here?
Get out of town.
Yeah. Fun fact, the Banshees of Inisherin is actually part 1 on our duology on taking place on an island, because next time on The Film is Okie Dokie. Funny enough, you mentioned but you did mention this movie earlier in this episode.
Okay.
Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery.
Okay. All right. I haven't seen it.
And neither have I. So I thought that it would be fun for us to experience it for the first time together, especially because the sequel, the third one, Wake Up, Dead Man, is coming out soon. Thought it'd be a bit topical. And I thought it might be fun for us to watch a mystery that neither of us know how it unfolds, so we can try and solve it alongside frickin' Foghorn Leghorn Detective.
Yeah, there we go. I said. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everybody for listening. Tune in next time where you can hear us or see us watch. No, you're not going to see us. You're going to listen to us watch. What's it called? Glass Onion, A Knives Out story. Remember to like us, rate us, review us, give us 5 stars. If you only give us 4 stars, I'm inclined to believe that you are a hater. Shout out to Bomani Jones for the Quip at Wave Sports and Entertainment, formerly of ESPN. Remember to share the podcast with your friends. Remember to join the Discord. We're doing a bunch of cool stuff. People are in there talking every day. It's a very small group right now, but it's an engaged group. And lastly, thank you so much for supporting the show. We really appreciate it. As always, I've been CJ.
I've been Tommy.
And this has been The Film is Okie Dokie.
Bye.
Don't go changing, cool cats.